What's up, guys? This is Michael back with another Yamaha Warrior rebuild. Um, got a lot done since the last time I posted. Um, we currently got the top end on the engine. Um, I'm waiting on a flywheel puller to come in so I can pull a flywheel off and throw it on this engine, off my other engine. Um, where's it at? Where did I set it at? I'm not sure where I put it, but um, I was attempting to put the flywheel on um, the engine here, and I didn't have it lined up with the I can't remember what it is. The key on the crank, can't remember the name. Woodruff key, sorry. I didn't have it quite lined up. It was slightly off, and I put the bolt on and tried to run it down with the impact to get the seat on, and it just messed the channel up on the flywheel. It's gonna bother me. I don't know where I put it, but I do have another flywheel over here on this engine that I can pull off and take. So I'll have that to throw on. I just need the flywheel puller. As you can see, we got the top end on. Um, the piston's been on for a while, so we got the piston rings all set. It was my first time ever doing a top end and messing with piston rings on an engine, period. This kit came with no specs on what the piston ring clearance should be. I talked with the company that I got the kit from, and they said they just put theirs together and did the break-in period, and it's been working fine. Healthy bike, no loss of compression or anything. So I got the piston rings all clocked the way they should be, I hope. But we got the head on, or the cylinder on, the head on, the head and everything's torqued down, the new gaskets, head gasket and cylinder gasket, whatever you want to call it. I'm just waiting, like I said, on that flywheel puller so I can put the flywheel on this, make sure I got it lined up this time. The flywheel was a little messed up. I don't know if that was the reason it had trouble going on, but I'll just take that one off the other engine. I know that one's good, so I'm gonna order a either a webcam or a hot cam stage 2 for this. We do have port and polish on the intake and exhaust side. I don't know if you can see it in there at all. It is all ported. We got the bigger exhaust studs. I think, yeah, I got a stock one here. I'll show you for comparison. And any of you guys that know about Warriors, the exhaust studs always break. You can see how thin the one on the left is. That's the stock one compared to the one on the right. So we shouldn't have any problem with those breaking off if we ever need to take it off again, which hopefully we don't have to for a while. I threw this gear on there just because I had it and it was new, but I'm probably not going to run that gearing. I think that's a 14 tooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tooth. So smaller than what I thought. I think I've talked to a couple of people. They're running 16 and 40 with this setup. I guess it does really good. This would be for a woods racing bike, so I don't need the top speed, but I would like the torque and the the quick takeoff. So, and the Warriors have 6 gears, so I'll never need to be in 6th gear in the woods. So that's not going to bother me too much. I just want to be able to get off the line quick and have that fast speed in the short distance. I think that'll be a good combination. So we'll get a 16-tooth sprocket ordered and see how that goes. I think I have a 14, or I have that 13. I think I have a 14, and then I'll order a 16. So we'll have some gears to play with to see what works best. As you can tell, I do have the FCR on there, the 39mm carb. If anybody's wanting this kit, it's specific for the Warrior. You get your adapter with a gasket. It's a you have to run their gasket. It's specific for this aluminum adapter. That way it's not transferring heat into the intake boot and stuff like that. But all this is specifically made just for the Warrior. You got your FCR 39 millimeter carb. This runs up to a stock air box. I'm going to be running an aluminum box, but you can run this whole setup with your stock air box. Now, if you're wanting this carb kit, I can't remember how much they have it listed for, but here is the company and the phone number and information and website. If you have any questions, give them a call. They'll be more than happy to help you out and work with you. Miles and Richard and David, great guys up there at the Zoom Parts. I got to go up and meet them and take a ride on one of their bikes with this setup, and I can definitely say it's going to be worth it. So yeah, if you guys are looking for more a little bit of more performance out of your bike, definitely give them a call. They'll put you in the right direction. But for this, or for now, I did get the Big Bear shift shaft put in. You can see how far out that's sticking past the oil filter. Hopefully going to be getting a Big Bear oil cooler setup on this. Even if I don't, which I'm going to, because this 366 kit, they run hot, so I definitely want to keep it as cool as possible. But you could run this shift shaft and no oil cooler on your stock engine, and then you could also run, see if I can get in here without destroying everything. You could also run the recoil on your bike. That way, in case your starter takes a crap on you when you're out on the trail or something, you still got a way to start it. And yes, you do not need the decompression valve. Once I get it all together, I'll show you the way to start it and the reason why you don't need the decompression valve. But that's a whole nother video. We'll go over that. I am running the stock valves in this, valve train and all that, just because I want to get this together. I'm not too worried about a valve issue. If I do have one, it'll be nothing to pull the head off and put some upgraded valves in there. Or I have another set of stock valves right there that are in good shape I can throw in. So we'll just run that for now and see how it goes. I was going to paint this case up, but I just decided to leave it aluminum, or the dirty aluminum look. I can't seem to get the rest of this stuff off. I don't know what that is. Some caked on old grease or oil or dirt, whatever it may be. When I had the whole case split apart, I took it to work and pressure washed it with some acid and stuff and some really heavy duty commercial degreaser and got it really clean. So Shouldn't have any leaks. It'll have all new gaskets throughout. Everything's tight. But as soon as I get that flywheel puller in, I'll show you guys how to pull the flywheel and maybe do an install on it on the other bike. This engine here is actually a running engine. I pulled it off my frame. There's no issues with it. But I just need the flywheel off of it. Well, I lied. There is one issue. As I talked about, I snapped off one of the exhaust studs. So I'll probably end up getting that stud out and drilling those out and tapping them to the bigger ones. And then either keep it as a spare engine or sell it to somebody that needs a good engine. The case is not cracked on this at all. Yeah, so it'd definitely be a drop-in and ready-to-go engine. I never had any issues with it. Other than that, I think that's it for now. We're getting closer and closer as the weeks go on. I tore my whole bike down, so I got stuff hanging everywhere, wiring harness and throttle and stuff. And I got the swing arm and axle there, A-arms. We're going to be doing new bearings in the swing arm up here. And TM Design Works chain guide, so we'll do a video on that once we get that in. And I'll show you how to do that. And then the American Star +2 A-arms. We'll be doing a video on those, how to set them up for your application. And I think we're going to be doing the YFZ 450 hubs and brake calipers, front and rear. So we'll see how that goes. I've been doing a little research on the side, trying to figure out if there is any other bike swing arm, well, quad swing arm that'll work on the Warrior. That is the clamp style carrier, like the Hondas and the 450 style carriers versus the Warrior chain tensioning setup, which is absolute garbage. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, I ran that engine with no chain guard or anything on it in this setup, and my chain never popped or broke or came loose, and the chain was in bad shape just because I neglected it. So we're gonna go through that and get it all cleaned up, and think about getting it powder coated or just leave it black. I'm not sure yet. There's some paint missing on it. It's a fairly new swing arm, so we'll get the carrier all cleaned up and new bearings and whatnot, and see if we can get a YFC 450 rear rotor, or not rotor, caliper on it. Get rid of that swing arm skid plate and get the rotor and sprocket guard for it. Make it look a little better, get a little bit better ground clearance versus that thing hanging below a couple inches. But other than that, that's it for right now. I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an update. Still haven't taken the frame to powder coat yet. Just kind of waiting on to do that because I'm in no rush to get that done. I want to get the engine done, because once the engine's done, that's like the main part. That's the milestone right there. Then everything else will follow. It'll be fairly easy to get. I could drop the frame off a powder coat, get that done, bring it home, then slowly start assembling everything, order all my bearing kits. I don't need bearings or anything, or Heim joints for the swing arms. Those have probably 7 to 10 hours on them, so I'm not worried about that. The shocks are all done. You guys seen in the past videos. If you haven't, go back, subscribe, and check out the channel. I'm going to go pick up a tripod here this week. for my phone so we can get some videos recorded. I'm still not up to par with editing and whatnot, so these videos will be kind of long, and they'll just be a straight shot, so we'll see how that goes. Got some tires over here. When I first got this Warrior, it had a small lug pattern on it. I'm not sure what those rims were off of. Or maybe that was the stock Warrior pattern. But the other rims I had with better tires on it, they were a bigger rear pattern. So I'm not sure exactly which sprockets are which. I guess I can measure. But I got a set of new used tires up there. They only have 2 races on them. Got them off a guy that does the GNCC Nationals, and they're in great shape. I mean, at least for my application, they're better than the ones I had. But I'll definitely throw those on, get those used up. But I'm going to order a whole new set of fronts and rears for spares. And then we're going to get some bead locks, so I'll probably throw those on the stock rims and leave those as spares, and then get a new set of tires for some bead locks to throw on the bike, because I did have an issue last year with de-beading. We were on, or not last year, year before, sorry. We're in a real rocky area, and when you're running the woods racing, you want to run low PSI, that way you can get better traction. And I think I had 3 to 5 pounds in, and I came sideways to the woods and hit a rock and just instantly de-beaded, so we don't want to have that issue. I think I'm going to run the dual rear bead locks, so you have a bead lock on the outside and then on the inside of the rim. I don't think people really have an issue with de-beading on the inside of the rim, but getting that, it'll probably give you a better advantage. That way you don't have an issue. Another thing that I've been doing some research on is batteries. That's just a cheap Walmart battery, just because I needed one and I wanted to ride when I had the, sorry, I'm yawning, when I had the bike together. It works great. No, I shouldn't say great. It works for the most part. But I want something that's going to turn the engine over a little bit faster and get it started like right now, because with the woods racing, we start with our engines off, and your bike cranking over slow or cranking over for a long period of time could determine whether or not you are first off the line or last off the line. So that's why I want to get this engine completely rebuilt and make it to where it fires up right away. That way we can get out in front, at least try to. And I was looking at the featherlight or featherweight batteries or whatever they are, and there was another one I was looking at, but they offer a custom battery box, aluminum battery box. I think it's JDS offline. I think it's JDS. The only thing you have to modify your rear plastics, but the only thing you have to do is cut away, basically just cut out your stock battery box. That way you can mount in their battery box and you can run the Raptor 700. I think it It either accepts the Raptor 700 or the YSZ 450 battery. I don't know if they're the same or not, but it's a little bit better too, because then you could remove your rear plastics without having to disconnect your battery if you need to remove them real quick or anything. So we'll be doing that as well. I've seen a couple of videos of people running that battery, and their bike just starts up like right now. So trying to get everything squared away, that way we have the biggest advantage possible. But once we get this together, I'd say we're definitely going to have it done before spring runs around, so hopefully we can go out and get some track time in. I don't really ride track, but seat time is seat time, so get some practice in, get the bike broken, and that way if we run into any problems, we won't have an issue. We can get those fixed and squared away. So if you guys have any questions on the build or want to see anything specifically, let me know in the comments. Be grateful if you guys subscribed and shared and liked the video. And if you guys want to check out my Facebook page, it's All Out Racing on Facebook. We don't have a Snapchat set up yet, but we'll get one set up here soon. That way I'll be posting on there sneak peeks of what's going on and what's coming next before I post on here. So as soon as I get that set up, I'll let you guys know. Like I said, we're going to be getting a tripod here soon. That way we can go in depth a little bit more, and I can take you guys along and show you the way things are done, instead of just doing it and then showing you guys, because I know you guys like to see how it gets done. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.